Taurus, born April 20th to May 20th, what can you expect for the month of August 2016? Let's tune in and find out. So Taurus, it finally feels like, there's this real, I want to say return of romance, just this comfortability with where you are. Some of you have been battling some illness and are just kind of like coming out of that, are starting to feel a little bit better. Some of you may have conquered one health problem and another one has sort of cropped up. So, there's a little bit of that issue, but overall it feels like, enjoying life kind of like in what we call the seat of the soul, in the driver's seat, kind of settling in and feeling like, here I am. There's been like a crazy whirlwind of energy and conversation over the last couple of years that you've had to deal with. And now it sort of feels like things are lining back up and becoming more comfortable or a return to the norm. So let's start with romantic relationships and look at those Taurus that are in a romantic relationship and see anything you want to manifest or what's going on in that relationship for the month of August. Well, it feels like overall there's a lot of patience in this relationship. I feel like you in particular have a lot of patience for the person that you're romantically involved with or that you have romantic feelings for, and that this person may be oblivious as to how hard it is for you, or the amount of restriction that it's taking on your part just to kind of like, keep your mouth shut about maybe the way they act or the way they do. And I feel that, you want to support your partner. And so because you want to support your partner, you maybe don't point out their faults or don't point out a better way of doing things with them or for them, or a better way that they can do things for themselves. If they have other relationships or work or whatever, family dynamics, and you're kind of staying out of it. So there may be a little, what I want to call sketchy energy or shady energy, and that's kind of where the other person is not really being truthful with you. And it's not that they're lying, it's more like they're being evasive. And that evasiveness can come either from they don't want to deal with it, they don't want to deal with you, or it's just they're confused and they don't know how to deal with it. So it is an avoidance, right? It's an evasive or avoidance. And that feels like it can somehow wedge itself in your communication or in your dynamics as a couple. So this other person in your relationship has some other family stuff or work stuff that the way they're handling it is somehow creating this insulation around them, so you don't feel as close to them or you don't feel as connected to them. And even though you would like to help, there is, like I said, there's this evasive sort of energy. So your job is just to realize, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So, I think you're handling it correctly, and that you just have to kind of like, okay, it's your issue and I'm not going to get involved. And I think if you do that, you've just kind of agree to disagree, or you don't even talk about it. And it's certainly one way to live your life. There may be a healing opportunity or an opportunity to kind of bring it out into the open towards the end of the month. Just be careful. Just know that you don't want to be the one who introduces that, because if you're the one who introduces that, it kind of falls flat. So let it be the other person's conversation. And I think the more that you just kind of like relax around it, it may work out for itself. Now, aside from that, it feels like there's a lot of lovely moments in the month. There's a lot of romance. There's a lot of just enjoyment and ease and fun. And at the same time, it may be that you're at work a lot, or your partner's at work a lot, or there may be some distance between the two of you not being able to get together, and there really is a longing or a missing of that person too. So just be aware that that could be going on also. Now, for those of you that are single Tauruses and want to find romance, what's in store for you this month? So Taurus, you can really get myopic, you can really look. And two things can happen. You can get that way with work, that you are so busy and you're so loving what you do, no need for a relationship. And you kind of have the attitude, if it's meant to be, it'll be. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Well, or not, because we do have to expand your vision so that you can actually see if somebody's paying attention to you or if you want to pay attention to somebody, right? So if you really do want a relationship, you're going to have to like pick your head up and kind of scan and notice who's around you. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. The other thing is where you can be myopic is where you can actually be in relationship with somebody and you're looking like that, right? You're looking closer at them, and looking closer at them, it can sometimes kill the relationship before it has a chance to get started. Like, oh, they wore brown shoes, or oh, they're not tall enough, or I really don't like their taste, or gosh, I don't know if I could be in a relationship with a vegan. It's like that. So don't look so close. Just go have fun, right? Just enjoy yourself. Don't make it mean anything. And some of you go, well, why would I waste my time? Well, maybe if you decided that you didn't have it all figured out, and you might be able to see something different about the person. And then if you go out, some people are slow starters. I always usually tell my clients, most of my clients, I always say, go out with somebody. If there's a connection there or you see something about it, don't pick it apart. But if you can see like a couple good things about them, like maybe, then give them a 3-date rule. Go out with them 3 dates and then decide, I'm done, or wow, I'm so glad I spent time with them. There's so much more than meets the eye here. And so just be aware that that can happen, all right? Now, it's moving on to your career and money, Taurus. Well, you guys are in the driver's seat for sure. With your careers, there's a real feeling sense of like, I know where I'm going, I know what I'm doing. Some of you may have like gone too fast and, it's like you're on a dune buggy and ran into a big sand hill, but choking, right? It's like, whoa, I've learned how to take it slow. I've learned how to stay on the road. So the good news is you learn quickly from your mistakes, you know what to do, and you, more importantly, know how to stay in your lane, right? Because some of the problems with some executives or some employees or entrepreneurs is they want to do everybody else's business, But great thing about Taurus is they know what they're good at, and good, you handle that. That's not my forte. This is what I'm good at. So it's good to handle that momentum of what you're good at, to stay in your lane. And you guys are aware of that. And I think you're going to really see an expansion of your lane. So whatever it is that you do good, you're going to be able to see that you can push that out a little bit further, get more done, and actually, be more of a benefactor, have more things happen, have more clout. There's even an opportunity for an advancement for you this month, for something new maybe offered you. You could win an award. You could actually even have somebody unexpectedly come in and offer to buy your business from you. If you're an entrepreneur, it could be that somebody comes in and asks you, gives you a promotion and or nominates you for an executive position or to join a board. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to be able to be seen and heard and to get noticed. Okay. There's also, there's a real curiosity, heart desire to know the spiritual realm, understanding the spiritual realm. And it's really interesting because you guys are really grounded people, but you have a lot of spiritual energy. So this month you may be able to learn a lot more about yourself spiritually and may have a renewed focus on spiritual things or a spiritual identity. And I think if that's the case, you should pursue it, and you should invoke those energy and surround yourself with people that are interesting, that have different points of view or different slants on life, because you have strong instincts and you'll be able to guide yourself through it. All right, let's look at money. Well, I sort of feel like what you see is what you get, but there's also a knowing, like you have a strong knowing, Taurus, of what you need to do to make more money, or if you know you need more money, You have a real adaptability to immediately think of an idea, manifest it, and plug it in. Like Tauruses don't have any problems making money. If you know what you want, you just go do it. If you know what you want, you're just like, well, save here. Like there's a real practical ability that you have to get what you want and to make things happen. And so that's no different this month. I really feel like it's the earth is rich and fertile for you to be able to make more money. You just have to step back, stop, and go, I'm going to do it that way. So the biggest issue you'll have this month will be about decision making, about which is the way that you want to make the money, which is the way that you want to go, which is the way that you want your life to look. So, and this is why some of these opportunities may come in. You may go, do I want to work that hard? Do I want to travel that much? Do I want to be gone that much? Or do I want, do I want a partner? Like all these different little scenarios may show up that are giving you a different way in which you can manifest your life. And you're having to sit back and decide, which way do I want it? Do I want it like this or do I want it like that? And I think that's going to be the biggest problem you have, which is a nice problem to have, right? Is an opportunity to make a lot of money and you trying to decide, can I get behind it that way? Or do I want to do it like this? So it's a really, really good month and exciting month for you. So let's look at your health, Taurus. I feel like you're pretty predictable, like you know your body, you kind of know what you can expect. Some of you may have some hay fever issues or sinuses issues or, and lung issues. So you might have been dealing with pneumonia or hay fever or anxiety issues. It's all like up in here, right? And so you're going to see a clearing of these things, an emotional clearing is going to happen. And some of you may have stumbled upon some grief that you weren't aware of or have been unwilling to process. And I think that's going to come up and you're not going to have any choice but to process it. So some of you may be faced with endings or dealing with things that have ended and it's like you're the last to know. Like, well, I know it ended, but is that really what they meant? So some of you may unexpectedly deal with some unfinished business or some emotions that are somehow uncovered or unveiled that you didn't know that you had about something that maybe ended 6 months ago, right? Or maybe even 10 years ago if you're really good at hiding things. So just know that there's this unfinished business that may come up to be cleared. Just deal with it. If you need therapy, get into therapy. If you need, I'm an intuitive healer, call me. There's a lot of different ways that we can move through the pain and suffering and to minimize it so you don't have to suffer, so it doesn't have to overshadow your life. So there will be an opportunity for you to help clear the lungs and to clear the heart. All right, all. Have an amazing month, Taurus. I'm so excited for you. Such big things, and you guys are such salt of the earth people. Some of my favorite people are Tauruses. So I look forward to connecting with you again next month. If you enjoy my intuitive astrology, please click like, share it with your friends, and I look forward to connecting with you again next month.